Good morning, my friends. Happy Thursday. I am Megan DeVito. I am an anxiety coach for women, and I'm here to talk to you today about breakfast and lunch and dinner and snacks and all those other things that you are putting into your body because you're hungry, but also maybe because you're not feeling great, because comfort food got its name for a reason, right? And what I want to talk to you about today is that your gut and your brain are so intricately connected that there's no way that not eating the proper foods is going to help you. And I know that when you feel like garbage, that you're like, oh man, I wish I had some like macaroni and cheese and like ice cream and like a candy bar and all these things that taste really good and temporarily might make you feel a little bit better. I know, that's why they're comfort foods, you guys. But what they're doing in the long term is actually making your anxiety, your depression, your attention issues, possibly autism, all these other things that are controlled by your gut so much worse. And the funny thing is that this is one of the easiest things to fix. And it's also one of the things that when I'm coaching people, I get the most pushback on. Maybe because people don't want to buy into it, maybe because they don't necessarily understand how tightly these things are connected, but there is a huge correlation between your mental health and your gut health. And a lot of that comes back to the bacteria that's supposed to be in your gut that we've either killed off with antibacterial soaps or eating foods that kill off that bacteria and don't allow them to grow properly, possibly pesticides, possibly toxins, possibly all these other things that we could be exposed to. But also because, hey, good morning. Also because we are stressed. And when we're stressed, we're doing so many things that it sucks everything out of us. You guys know that feeling, right? You're stressed and all of a sudden you're like, oh God, I have a headache and I think I'm gonna have a glass of wine. And in the meantime, cortisol is building up in your body, which is making you crave sugar, which is also making you store fat, which is also making you want to take a nap instead of move. These things pile on top of each other. And as they pile on top of each other, we reach more and more and more for this junk food or these comfort foods as opposed to the foods that are really, really good for our gut. Now, I'm not ever going to be one of those people that says never eat whatever it is again, because this is life and it's meant to be celebrated and it's meant to be lived. I am, though, one of those people that will tell you to chill out with the Cheetos, okay? You want to have some Cheetos every once in a while? Yes. You want to have Cheetos every single day? Please stop. And I say that very lovingly because they're delicious. They're killing you slowly mentally, okay? Not because there's something in there that might cause you to die. I mean, I don't know what's in Cheetos, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But because they're not doing anything to grow the goodness that you need. The foods that you need are those foods that have seen dirt, rain, and sunshine. So basically whole foods, okay? And this goes back to, I don't know what's in Cheetos. I don't know what's in Cheetos, and my guess is that you probably don't either unless you're a chemist, because I'm sure there's something that's actual food in there, but not a lot. There's a lot of chemicals in a Cheeto, and I don't know what they do. And why am I bashing on Cheetos? I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything that comes in a package, ramen noodles, all those prepackaged yummy dinners, a chicken pot pie that's been frozen and shoved in a box, a can of soup, anything that you can't read the label and be like, I know exactly what that is. I'm not sure you want to eat it. Because when I say eat an apple, well, what's in an apple? Apple. Or what's in milk? Milk. Or what's in bread? Well, flour, eggs, milk, yeast. I mean, you can name those ingredients, right? And that's where our gut gets really confused, because our gut, if you go back to when you were a caveman, was designed to process the foods that we find outside in nature so that we can have this healthy gut biome that produces all of these fantastic things like serotonin. So people who are looking for quick fixes to anxiety, one of the first questions I always get is, what medicines should I take? And in my head, I'm like, I'm not a doctor. And I don't know what will work for your body. And honestly, doctors are taking a shot at it too, because unless they've done some kind of genetic testing, which they can do, by the way, it's like, try this, let's see how it goes. And if it doesn't work, we'll try something else. So what if you tried eating better? What if you tried eating whole foods? What if you tried paying attention to how your body reacts to the foods that you eat? You know, we hear so much about gluten intolerance. And when you say, you know what, you might have a gluten intolerance, some people think bad. Some people think, I can never eat it again. I think maybe you do. Maybe your body doesn't have a gluten intolerance. Maybe you have a dairy intolerance. Maybe you eat mostly processed foods. And that's what I'm going to call you out on. When you eat intuitively, you start paying attention to the foods that make you feel good for a few minutes, and then you crash. Or you start paying attention to the foods that say, you know what, every time I eat this, I get really sad, or I get really happy. Every time I eat a sweet potato, I feel fantastic, and that's why I eat them all the time. Because I really feel good. They're good for your gut. They grew in the dirt, they got sunshine and rain on them, and they're great for you. And they taste like pie, you guys, like pie, a vegetable pie. Put a little cinnamon and honey on that thing, and it's dessert for lunch. Okay? So paying attention to the foods that you are consuming, what are the ingredients? How do they make me feel? And noticing your mood, because 98% of the serotonin that your body needs to feel happy, to feel not depressed, to feel not anxious, comes from your gut. It doesn't grow in here. It doesn't grow in your brain. It affects your brain. It comes from your gut. And when your gut is jacked up with bad bacteria or no bacteria or chemicals or all of these other things that aren't food, this isn't going to work well. You're going to have brain fog. You're going to be anxious. You're not going to be able to sleep well. You're not going to be able to do well on your test at school or at your job. You're going to be sluggish, confused, all of those things. It's also, over time, it can cause something called leaky gut. This is a gross thing to me, because the idea of leaky gut is that you already know there's bacteria in your gut. Leaky gut is something that doctors haven't necessarily put a exact label on, but it's a thing. And we hear so much about anti-inflammatory diets. Leaky gut causes inflammation, and inflammation can cause you to have achy joints. I point to this because it's achy. It can cause you to have headaches, to be sluggish, to be forgetful, to be depressed, to have so many different physical symptoms and psychological symptoms. And what this is from a lack of good bacteria and a thinning of that intestinal wall from toxins that allows the good bacteria and the bad bacteria to seep through the lining of your intestines or your gut and go out into your bloodstream. And when that happens, there's bacteria floating around in your body that makes things hurt and feel bad. It makes you depressed, makes you tired, makes you anxious. And it's a process to fix that. Okay? It's not like, well, I ate a carrot today and now I'm good. No, it took a while for your gut to get to the point where it was leaky. So it takes a while to heal that. And what you have to do is you have to allow that intestinal wall to heal so that bacteria is not getting out. And then notice, you know what, I feel good. So does this happen overnight? No. And that's why what you're eating is not I'll try it for a couple days and see if it'll work. That's why this is a lifestyle choice. That's why this is habit change. Okay? There's a lot of incredible benefits from this. Your anxiety is going to go down first and foremost for me. Mental clarity, you're having more energy. You're actually likely to lose weight on this because your body's not harboring all that cortisol. You've got more energy, so you want to get up and move. You're able to make better choices because you're not always reaching for comfort food. But again, guys, this is a process. This is not I stopped eating it last week, but I didn't feel any different, so I just went back to what I had before. This is making consistent choices over time, changing your response to stress so that you don't say, I'm stressed out, I'm going to go eat potato chips or whatever. It's saying, I'm stressed out, I'm going to journal, or I'm going to take a walk, or I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to play with my kids, or I'm going to watch something on TV or read a book. So it's that kind of change. It's the kind of change where we say, I ate this and I didn't feel good, so I'm going to try not eating that for a length of time longer than a week or 2 or 3. I'm going to cut out this because I've noticed when I eat it, I feel like garbage. Okay? It's focusing on the foods that are good for you. Dark chocolate. You guys, dark chocolate, the darker the better. Not milk chocolate, not white chocolate, not super sweet sugary chocolate. Dark. Like cacao, blah, 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 whatever, cocoa, whatever you want to call it. The darker the better. Dark chocolate is great. Blueberries, dried apricots, spinach, kale, salmon, brown rice. Oh gosh, nuts like almonds, cashews, walnuts, seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, sweet potatoes. There's so many eggs. There's so many things that are so good for your gut. Kombucha, anything fermented. I'm big on pickles, and that never makes the list, but they're fermented, so I count them. But sauerkraut, I mean, so many really healthy choices that you can make for your gut. And you can look up a gut healthy diet or a whole foods diet and really start looking at those things. By the way, those aren't the same thing. Gut healthy and whole foods aren't necessarily the same thing. Low FODMAP diet is good for your guts. There's so many ways that you can start making your mental health improve and your physical health and your whole body feel good by just watching what you eat. This is not a diet recommendation. This is not a go gluten-free recommendation or a go dairy-free, although gluten and dairy are 2 big inflammatory foods, so you might want to look at those. This is a I choose to be healthier idea, or I choose to eat these things. And I choose to eat pie when I'm celebrating, but I don't choose to eat cookies or Cheetos or Monster energy drinks or any of those things all day long because I choose to be healthy. Anyways, I hope you understand a little bit more about why I am such a food person, about why I love food. It's delicious. I want it all the time, but I'm also choosy about a lot of things, and I'm lucky because I'm not food sensitive. If you are food sensitive, God bless you. I'm not food sensitive, and I'm thankful for that every day. So start paying attention. If you have questions, guys, I am only a click and a message away. You can at any time message me on here. I'm also over on Facebook. I am on, oh my God, you guys, like everywhere. So find me, ask me questions, and I am happy to help you through this. That is what I do. I am here to help, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Take care.